high. 50 feet above his right shoulder stood a watchtower, and in that watchtower, an untested 20-year-old with a hankering to fire the Browning .30 caliber machine gun he hadn't shot since his last day of training. A voice yelled at him from the tower. "Jacobs, that you?" Seyss shuddered but kept walking. He raised an arm in greeting, but his gesture failed to satisfy whoever was in the tower. "Is that you, Conlon?" came the voice. "You're the only prick that walks like he's got a spading tool up his ass." Seyss knew he had to respond. Emboldened by the fact that he must at least look like a GI, he lifted his head toward the parapet and yelled, "Shut the hell up! Don't you know Jerry's sleeping?" No response came from the tower. Reflexively, he bunched his shoulders. The initial burst would strike his back dead center. Finally, the voice answered. "Miller, that you?" Seyss waved him off, and a moment later was swallowed by the shadow of the camp storehouse. It was a 40-yard dash across open terrain to the rear of the camp kitchen. Steeling himself, he remembered a maxim he'd been taught at the officers' academy. In battle, the intrepid soldier must follow Nietzsche's maxim to live dangerously. Only in this manner could victory be achieved. "Live dangerously," he whispered, his lips curled in irony. And taking a deep breath, he ran. The shadow of a watchtower threatened from the corner of his eye, but he could see no movement from its parapet. He pressed harder, enjoying the soft stamp of grass under his feet. His legs felt strong and limber. The legs of a runner, he reminded himself. The legs of a champion. And then he was there, hugging the kitchen wall. Seyss flattened his back against the building. Vlasov's two-horse rig was parked in front of the kitchen. The black marketeer came every Sunday night at 8:30, hauling a bounty of souvenirs pilfered from a dead army. Battle flags, Walther pistols, Schmeiser machine guns, and of course all manner of military decoration. Rumor had it the souvenirs brought top dollar among Allied soldiers who had never seen battle. A Luger fetched $75, a Mauser automatic rifle twice that. He wondered how much an Iron Cross would bring. Seyss slid onto the wooden frame and crawled toward the front of the kitchen. Here the earth was muddy, soaked by the runoff from an afternoon thundershower. His hands were slathered with red clay. He rubbed his thumb and forefinger together, savoring its gritty texture, and the memory of another day filled his mind. He saw himself settling in the blocks, spreading his hands in the fine ochre dirt. Laying his fingers along the starting line, he cocked first one leg, then the other behind him. Suddenly the crowd murmured as one, the communal sigh of 100,000 spectators, and he knew it was Jesse Owens, the American 2 lanes to his right, standing down. He lifted his head and the world collapsed to the narrow lane stretching before him to eternity, and there, just visible, the white ribbon that would wrap him in his country's glory. His body quivered with anticipation. Macht zur Sieg, the will to victory. And then the snap of the starter's pistol, the explosion of the crowd as he sprang from the line, the dark blur flashing past his right where no one had passed before, the instant knowing that all was lost, that the race was the Americans', and that Germany's White Lion was defeated. He opened his eyes and the roar of the crowd faded, replaced by the sawing of summer locusts. Dragging his body forward, Seyss could hear voices coming from above him. The bellow of an American's voice stopped him. It was Jenks, the camp commander. "I don't care if that sword belonged to Hermann Goering himself. I will not give up 2 50-pound bags of flour for it. The most I can offer is 1 bag of flour, a carton of condensed milk, and a sack of Louisiana rice. Take it or leave it." "Eggs," said Vlasov. "I need eggs." "No eggs, friend. Eggs are for Americans only. I'll give you some peaches instead. What do you say?" Jenks sounded anxious, still new to his role as war profiteer. "Yes, it is okay," Vlasov said after a moment. Seyss guessed he was a Czech, one more Slav with no home to go back to. The Americans referred to them as DPs, displaced persons. Seyss scooted a few inches forward. The confinement was suffocating him. "Hurry up," he urged Jenks and Vlasov. But listening to Jenks barter away the prisoners' food supplies, Seyss felt his fear ebb and fury take its place. Small wonder the camp population was half-starved.